Did Reliance try to sell Operation Sindoor? One mistake and a national storm followed. Imagine a military operation where Indian soldiers made history by striking terror at its roots. A mission that proved to the world how far India would go to protect its people. And then, out of nowhere, the name of that very operation appears in an online trademark filing, submitted by one of India's largest corporate giants, Reliance. That's all it took. Social media erupted, national sentiments were outraged, and everyone began asking, can a name tied to courage and sacrifice really be used for commercial gain? Today we dive deep into this controversy. But before we begin, if you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. Now let's get started. The controversy began when Jio Studios filed a trademark application for the name Operation Sindoor. As soon as the news broke, a wave of outrage swept across the nation. People argued that using terms tied to military sacrifice and bravery for commercial purposes is not only inappropriate but deeply disrespectful to the soldiers who gave their lives. Soon, hashtags like Hush Respect Sindoor, Hush Reliance Boycott, and Hush Not For Sale started trending on social media. Amidst the growing anger, Reliance Industries took a swift and responsible step. The company issued an official statement clarifying that the filing was an unintentional error. Neither Reliance nor Jio Studios ever intended to commercialize or trademark Operation Sindoor. According to the company, the application was mistakenly submitted by a junior employee without approval from senior leadership, and as soon as it was brought to their attention, the application was immediately withdrawn. In its statement, Reliance also acknowledged that Operation Sindoor symbolizes India's courage, sacrifice, and honor, and that the company holds the utmost respect for anything related to the valor of Indian soldiers. It further stated that national pride, service, and sacrifice are values it deeply respects, and the public's emotional response to this matter is completely justified. But one question still lingers. How did this happen in the first place? Can any employee casually file a trademark using the name of a national military operation? Should any organization be allowed to take such a sensitive step without proper oversight? This entire controversy has raised serious concerns about transparency and responsibility in corporate decision-making. People must understand that even an unintentional mistake, when it touches the nation's emotions, can have far-reaching consequences. To understand why emotions ran so high, we must revisit what Operation Sindoor truly represented. It wasn't just another military operation. On the night of May 6th and 7th, while the nation was asleep, Indian forces were tearing through the darkness of terror. That was the night of the Pahalgam terrorist attack, where 25 Indian civilians lost their lives, a tragedy that shook the nation to its core. In response, India launched a precise, calculated, and silent counterattack, Operation Sindoor. The name itself was profoundly symbolic. Sindoor, traditionally worn in the parting of a married woman's hair, represents love, commitment, and auspiciousness in Indian culture. But during this operation, Sindoor became a symbol of sacrifice and retribution. The Indian Army targeted 9 terrorist camps in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, POK, with surgical precision. Remarkably, the operation was executed in such a way that no harm was inflicted on the Pakistani military, avoiding the escalation into war. India wasn't waging war, it was delivering a clear and powerful response to terrorism. On the morning of 7th May, the Ministry of Defense issued a press release confirming the operation. It stated that the Indian Army had conducted targeted strikes inside Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, POK, on terrorist hideouts. The attack was silent, strategic, and highly effective, sending a strong message to the world that India no longer responds with just words, but with decisive actions. And when this sacred name, Operation Sindoor, wrapped in valor and sacrifice, suddenly appeared in a corporate trademark filing. It ignited national outrage. Social media erupted, reminding companies that the blood of Indian soldiers is not a marketing tool. This legacy is not for branding. It is something to be honored with board heads, not commercialized. Citizens demanded an apology from Reliance, and in some places, calls were made to boycott Jio SIM cards in protest. This incident sparked an important debate. Is there a disconnect between patriotism and corporate sensitivity? And if so, how do we bridge it? This is not just about Reliance. It's about every company that profits from India's market and emotions. They must understand that beyond the numbers, this country holds a deep foundation of soul, culture, and sacrifice. Business in India is not just about commerce, it's about conscience. Although Reliance handled the matter swiftly and responsibly, the incident has become a landmark example of corporate accountability and cultural sensitivity. People pointed out that if such a misstep can happen at a giant like Reliance, then smaller companies must be even more cautious. This was no longer just a trademark issue. It became a warning: names carry emotions, and emotions are priceless. At the end of its statement, Reliance also said that it salutes India's soldiers and that their sacrifice is a source of inspiration. The company acknowledged that respecting the sentiments of citizens is a moral responsibility for every Indian company. That's why they not only withdrew the trademark application but also initiated an internal review of their systems to ensure such errors are not repeated in the future. There's yet another powerful aspect of this story: the awareness of the public. If people hadn't spoken up on social media, if no one had raised the alarm, this application might have been approved, and Operation Sindoor could have ended up as the name of a product, a film, or a commercial brand. But the people of India proved that when voices rise, change follows. Now the responsibility lies with all of us to protect every word, every name that is rooted in our nation's soil. Operation Sindoor is not just a military mission, it is an emotion, a response, a warning that India no longer stays silent. And when someone tries to turn the bravery of a nation into a brand, voices rise and change follows. If this story moved you, if you believe that valor cannot be branded, then share this video. Let the message reach every corner of the country. Operation Sindoor is not just the pride of our armed forces, but the pride of all Indians. And this pride doesn't belong in a marketing strategy. It lives in the soul of the nation.
If this video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources: news from various news agencies, opinion polls, and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.